Good morning, viewers of St. Bian's VIP magazine. Today we are all the way to the GAM Institute, the GAM Africa Institute for Leadership, that is GAIL. On my left is Mr. MR WADDA, the Vice President of GAIL. And we will have a brief discussion with him on what GAIL is all about and what is GAIL, what they do in the Gambia. Sir, good morning.
Good morning.
So after an introduction, can you please in brief tell us what GAIL is all about?
Well, the GAM Africa Institute for Leadership is an institute set up to improve leadership qualities in this country. GAIL was set up in 2017, but was something that we had conceived. That is when I say we, specifically my wife and I, have about 5 years ago decided that we wanted to improve our leadership skills. We wanted to improve ourselves, but in the process also try to develop and improve others, not just in Gambia, but in the continent. My wife is a director at the African Development Bank, that is MR WADDA, and she's basically responsible for human capital at the bank, nutrition, skills development, and a host of other things, education and all that. And we were like, fine, if we were to have the opportunity, we would like to start something in Gambia to improve leadership qualities in the Gambia and in extension in West Africa, in extension in the continent. So we said if the conditions were conducive, we would start an institute in Gambia where we would offer people leadership qualities basically for free. And for us, that would be our contribution, that would be maybe our legacy as far as our impact is in Gambia and the continent in general. So that's the first of premise that GAIL was established. And right now, we've started programs, we've started having activities with GAIL, and we've been able to set up about 5 different areas that we want to impact on. 1 is in education, 2 is in sports, 3 is in IT and communication, 4 is in health, and 5 is in business and entrepreneurship. So we are like trying to focus in these 5 areas and hopefully have an impact in these sectors by improving leadership qualities in these sectors, both in the Gambia and beyond.
Yeah, definitely leadership quality is a necessity in all these areas. Now, why GAIL is trying to improve on those areas? What so far have you done and in making sure that youths are being involved in your activities?
We started our activities last year with what was called the Voice of the Youth, in conjunction with an institute called Social Change Factory in Senegal. Together we did a program, like I said, Voice of the Youth, and there were about 25 young Gambians involved in that program. And moving on to this year, we have utilized those 25 and we've split them actually in groups. And those are the groups into the sectors I said we wanted to have an impact on. So this year, the education unit has already started a school debate program, which is actually in its 3rd round or 2nd round. We've had 2 training sessions and a round, and there are still 12 schools left in the competition. Hopefully by the end of this month, we will have another training session with them, and in early September have another competition of the 12 schools that are left in the competition. We also have the sports committee working on organizing an under-17 nationwide tournament, which we hope to collaborate with the Football Association and some private sector institutions in having sort of football under-17 tournament and trying to identify players at that grade. But not just identify players, but also coaches that will be coaching them. And we hope that we could develop maybe a team in each constituency in this country. Furthermore, the IT and communication unit are working on a program of offering 6 to 16-year-olds free access to the internet, access to computer programming. We have a program we're trying to utilize called Scratch, which is used globally as far as getting people into computer programming. So those are 3 activities, plus also this year, later on, we would have to do the second phase of Voice of the Youth. So those are some of the activities that we are directly involved in right now. We are in the phase of conceptualizing a training program which we would go to institutions and offer to give leadership training to some of their staff. And that phase of our program is under conceptualization, and hopefully before the end of the year we would start such a program where we would get people from different institutions to come in, and we give them leadership training, again, practically for free. And that is part of what GAIL is trying to do as far as having an impact in this country and trying to improve leadership qualities in the country.
So far you've mentioned of numerous activities that you are engaged in, probably based on developing the ability of youths as far as leadership is concerned, all for free. What are the challenges that you face in getting this done?
Well, the challenges are the normal challenges you have when you are trying to do things with limited resources, or with resources that are kind of personal in a sense. We've been using our resources, meaning my wife and I, in doing all of this. Hopefully, we would be able to attract others to come in and support what we are doing. That is the whole idea here. And the challenges are we are limited in the numbers that we can impact on. We are limited in the resources we have. So our impact has to be gradual. We don't have, for example, enough equipment to do maybe with our kid coders more than 25 kids at a time. But we are hoping that we can expand the program as we move ahead, because our goal is within the next 7 years to have every Gambian child, 6 to 16-year-old, to have had access to a computer, to have had access to the internet, to have had opportunity to do computer programming or develop skills in AI or computing. So it's, again, like I said, we're just starting now. So our constraints are basically we are limited in the numbers we can deal with. But as we progress, as GAIL grows, and as we do more things, I think then we would be able to impact more. So coming back to your question, our constraints are just the limitations that we are faced with trying to use individual funds to to develop the institute.
Interesting, that's fair enough. We hope that in years coming there will be development. Now, in conclusion, what do you have to say to the people watching? What are the programs they expect from GAIL, and what is GAIL ready to do for the youth of the Gambia in the near future?
Like I said, the whole idea here is to develop leadership qualities, and we are hoping that if we are able to have an impact in this country by improving the quality of leadership, we would all be better off. And that is basically the goal. But like I said, it's the goal is beyond Gambia. We're looking at the sub-region, West Africa, and also the continent as a whole. Because as Africans, as I said, my wife has been working in different African countries. I've been working at the African Development Bank, and has had a lot of impact throughout the continent. So our vision, our ambition is beyond Gambia, but as Gambians, we think it's best to start from our homeland. But we see beyond Gambia, we see beyond the region, we see the whole continent. And we want to improve leadership continent-wise, but we are of the opinion that we can start in Gambia, we can start small, and set an example for others to follow. And then we can scale things up and eventually would have an impact in the continent. So what I would say to young people is, the future is now. This moment is when you determine your future. So we all need to work together to be better. And we are offering to all young people an opportunity. And it is for young people to get up and take these opportunities and move forward with it. You have to start it now. You don't have to wait until you're an adult or wait until some other time to say you're going to do things. You have to start now. You have to live the moment. You have to prepare yourself at this moment moving forward. And this is something for me personally that I think if I had the opportunity as a young man, or if I was given this opportunity as a young man, I would have been beyond where I am today. And for that reason, I am keen, I'm excited to give young people opportunities or create opportunities for them, but it is for them to pick up those opportunities and run with it. I cannot get anybody where they want to be, but I can help in their process of getting to where they want to be. And that's what basically GAIL is doing. We are offering opportunities, and we are creating opportunities for young people, and we challenge young people in that process to take up these opportunities and run with it, and make themselves better, make this country better, make this continent better. Africa has been crying, Gambia has been crying. We need to get up and fix ourselves. We need to get up and do something for ourselves, not wait for anybody to do things for us. So that's the message I send out, not just to young people, but to everybody. I challenge everybody to get up and we work towards all of us being better, making our country better, making our continent better. And as I was arguing with someone yesterday about dignity, having dignity in ourselves. We can only do that when we develop ourselves to certain levels. If not, we cannot claim to be living a dignified life. And that's part of the message as far as GAIL is concerned.
Thank you very much, sir. And we are grateful to have you. What will be your last words to the youths?
Well, I'll thank you guys for this opportunity. I'm always excited. I'm always happy to share what I have, what I can offer. So any opportunity to express that, to expose that, And like I said, Gail is there to me and my wife, my family. And we are hoping that young people will come and take this from us and run with it. It's nothing personal as far as we're concerned. But again, it's creating an opportunity. And we challenge young people. We challenge old people. We challenge everybody to sort of take the bull by the horn. Let us look at ourselves and honestly assess ourselves and use that assessment to move forward. Use that assessment to develop ourselves. We have an opportunity, and let's not waste it. Because I think, like I said, if someone spoke to me like this or shared or gave me this opportunity as a young man when I was growing up, I think I would have been beyond this level that I am at. Notwithstanding, I had my opportunities, some I took, some I didn't. But what I would advise people at this stage is, let us grasp this moment. Let us grasp this opportunity and develop today for tomorrow or for a better tomorrow. I don't talk about future leaders. I don't talk about potential leaders. I talk about leaders now. And everybody has the opportunity and the potential to be a leader. And we want good leaders. We want great leaders. So we want to create them. We want to challenge them. And we want them to have values, to have ethics, to have morals that would look out for the betterment of all of us. And for me, that's the message. That's what we stand for at Gale, and that's what we are doing at Gale right now.
Thank you very much. That was Mr. MR WADDA of GAIL, the Vice President of GAIL. It was a pleasure to have him, and we've learned what he said, and I hope the youths of the Gambia will indeed grab this opportunity. Thank you very much for following Senbian's VIP magazine. I was Ibrahim Achun.